Hey, how you doing? On our play for this week, we are making bets on who will be the winners of the 2023 Game Awards. Xbox teases something big that's coming to the Game Awards. We got the latest leaks on the next Call of Duty, and it's a step backwards. But is it a good step backwards? We'll talk about it. Sony will have a $7.9 billion issue to deal with because of the PlayStation Store. All this and more on Season 7, Episode 46 of Press X to Start Gamers Digest. Like a Beyblade. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, DJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka, if you really think about it, if you really, really use your mind's eye, we're elbows all the way down to our toes. Think about it. I am joined by,
Sean MF Ross.
what does that MF stand for?
I don't know. Knees and an X.
Nailed it. Now you know who we are. Press X to Start Gamers Digest is a video podcast and that's the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We are live on YouTube every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best standard time. What's up? Don't forget, you can support us by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, hit the notification bell. If you are listening, we greatly appreciate you leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or the podcast services you are currently tuned in on. And if you want, you can join our conversations by going to our Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. Go there. It's also on our website, pressx2start.com. 2 instead of TO. You go. Just click on the thing. You'll get there. All right. So the 2023 Game Awards is very, very soon to happen. Of course, for the past couple of years, we've been doing predictions in terms of who we think is going to win. And we watch the awards and we're just kind of astounded by who actually won, or we're vindicated by us guessing the right answer. So
Yep.
that's what we're going to do now. We're not going to run through all the categories because 31 categories, and
We don't
a
care
good
about them all.
there you go. There you go. That's it right there. All right. So let us jump into the first one. We're just going to start from the top because the top is a doozy and we're just going to work our way down. So let's do it. Game of the year. Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical feats. We have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Brother Wonder, and then The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Sean, who do you think is going to win here?
This is actually a rough category. I really don't think Resident Evil is nominated, but I don't think it's gonna beat it over these other games. Um, I voted Spider-Man just because I only played Spider-Man and Super Mario. Um, we got some strong contenders, and I think. Oh, I mean, what else came out that was really strong towards the beginning of the year? I think just the last half of this year was really jam-packed. But I picked Spider-Man.
Okay. The only game that's not on here that came out in the beginning of the year that made waves was Hi-Fi Rush, but
Mm.
I think looking at that and looking
That's
at these
not
games,
game of the year material. That's a solid ass game, but
exactly,
it's not game of the year material.
exactly, yeah, yeah. I think it's an impressive game. I think it looks really cool. I think the idea is awesome,
Mm.
but I think when you're looking at game of the year, it has to be more than that. It has to come out,
Have
be
something
absolutely
overwhelming about
amazing,
it. Yeah.
yeah, and then also continue to have that conversation for longer than 2 months or so. And I don't think
Mm.
Hi-Fi Rush has really done that. I think it's when it came out, it was a surprise to all, and we're all just like, "Ooh, this looks really cool," but
It's
it
also
kind
not
of
a
just
game for everybody.
that
It's
too,
a
that too.
rhythm game.
But then again, I don't necessarily think that the game of the year has to be a game for everyone because like we have Alan Wake 2 on here, which is
You're right. You're right.
a horror game, and Resident Evil, which is also a horror game. So it's just like I think it just has to have like it has to it has to make waves, and those waves have to persist past the week that it's released, the month that it's out, maybe the two
Yeah.
months that it's been like in the market. So
Mm.
my vote here is Baldur's Gate 3. I feel like I think it's because I've played Spider-Man 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Mario
Mhm.
Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom. My If it's not Baldur's Gate 3, it's probably Tears of the Kingdom just because of what that game does from a gameplay standpoint. That is just insane. The fact that you have literally 3 levels of the Hyrule map. So, well, 2.5 levels of the Hyrule map to access in this one game running on the Switch, which
Yeah.
is mind-boggling. But yeah, ultimately, I think Baldur's Gate 3 takes it just because of the the depth of the gameplay system, the depth of the story, like the characters, like everything is so strong in this game. Like yes, there's bugs, but the bugs never really ruin the experience that you're having, and it never really ruins all the crazy like things you can do in this game, the choices you can make, X, Y, and Z. I think Alan Wake 2 is cool. I didn't play it, so I don't really have any basis on it, but a lot of people like that game. And Resident Evil 4, I think, is cool that it's on here. The remake is on here. As
Mhm.
Sean said, I don't think it's going to win Game of the Year just because it kind of already had its chance, and also there's stronger games on here. So yeah, that's that. Let's jump to the next thing. Best game direction. So this is awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. So we have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Mario Wonder, and then The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I Because you voted first, I'm going to vote here. I feel like Tears of the Kingdom is going to get this one just because of the
Mhm.
things that I just said in terms of like what they did with the Switch with that game is still mind-boggling. I think Alan Wake 2 is a close second just because of how atmospheric that game is and how it blends gameplay with live action. I think it's definitely a shoe in, but I just think that Tears of the Kingdom is so strong. I think the other games are great in their own right, but I just think those two games really did it. How about you?
I put Alan Wake. Give me one
Yeah.
second. Yeah.
Okay.
I put Alan Wake just because I didn't even play it, but I know Remedy makes some strong stuff, and I'm
Hmm.
curious to
Hmm.
play this. I know Control had that hot ass section that once you got to it, you was like, damn, everything was building up to this, and this is amazing. I want to call it the maze section in a Control, and I
Hmm.
hear Alan Wake 2 has something similar where it's just like, oh my god, this is bonkers, this is awesome. So I'm gonna get to it at some point, but
Yeah.
I got like a Dragon Gaiden to get through, man.
Amen. It's a bunch of games to play. All right.
Mm.
Let's jump to the next thing. Best narrative. And that is for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. We have, hold on, let's scroll it. We have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 16, and Spider Man 2. What was your vote here?
This is recency bias and probably just bias overall. But I mean, I voted Spider Man.
Yeah,
I didn't play Alan Wake, of course. Baldur's Gate, y'all say
right.
is amazing, but then I'm also hearing that the third act was kind of weak in a lot of places. So,
Yeah, I think I don't think Baldur's Gate 3 wins best narrative. I think it has a fantastic story.
hmm.
I I think the way it tells the story is really cool and all the choices you can make in the story, but I don't know if the narrative itself is strong enough to win this. I didn't play Final Fantasy 16, so I don't really have a say on there.
At all?
I No, I mean I played a little bit, but I haven't beaten it yet. I still haven't
Oh,
beaten it. Yeah.
okay.
So I didn't play Alan Wake 2. So it would really be a vote between Alan Wake 2 and Spider-Man, and I
Yeah.
would probably just
I'm done with
no,
Cyberpunk.
you know what?
Don't even mention that shit.
I think this is where Spider-Man can win. I think Alan Wake 2 has a good story, narrative, whatever, but I
Mhm.
don't really hear too much talk about it beyond
About the
that
story.
one
Yeah.
part. Yeah, so I
You're right.
think there's moments in that game, but I don't know if the narrative overall is the winner here. So I'll go Spider-Man 2.
I'd say Spider-Man just because hell, everybody's familiar with Spider-Man and it's gonna resonate with people more. They have a long history with Venom and, his
Mhm.
rogue gallery of villains.
Right.
I just think more people resonate with Spider-Man.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point. All right. Next category is best art direction for astounding creative and or technical achievement or artistic design and animation. We have Alan Wake. I'm selecting something. We have Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Super Mario Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom. What was your vote on here?
Lies of P. Did you
Really?
played the demo, right?
I played the demo, but it really didn't do anything for me.
The gameplay itself or the art direction? Think about it.
I think the art direction was cool, but I my issue with like a lot of Souls
Mhm.
games is that they cover up a lot of stuff with darkness, and it's just like, all right, this palette is muted, and it's just kind of the same colors over and over again. It's like I don't.
I mean, that's the genre itself.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be that just because it contributes to the gameplay. So I mean, yes, I get that, but for what you can see, as silly as that sounds, I mean, it's 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 the design is phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah. I Although I didn't play Eliza P, I think I am along the same lines with you in terms of it winning this. But I mean, like Hi-Fi Rush, I think it's amazing looking game. I don't know if it's the artistic design is cool. I think the music is going to be where it wins and like that
Man,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Alan Wake 2 man, like between Alan Wake 2 and Tears of the Kingdom, artistic best art direction. You know what? I'm changing my mind to Alan Wake 2. I think I think because it actually is successful in blending live action stuff with gameplay,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's yeah, I think that's doing something new enough for them to be like, all right, you know what? Alan Wake 2 is gonna get it. Also, I think more people play Alan Wake 2 than Lies of P as well. And that's always the
Yeah,
case.
and that also is X against Hi-Fi Rush because it's a rhythm game. I don't think enough people will have played this. Even if
Exactly.
everybody who played this voted for it, it
Yeah.
would still get outnumbered by all the other games.
Right. Right. And then we have Tears of the Kingdom and Mario Wonder, and like they're both fantastic games. They both look great in their own right, and it's just so it's funny that we have two super strong Nintendo games on here, and it's just like either Alan Wake or Liza P. So
I mean,
yeah,
just because Legend of Zelda isn't doing anything new in the artistic design portion, I would
hmm
say, because I mean it's an updated Breath of the Wild where there's nothing wrong with that. It just implemented new gameplay mechanics, not necessarily
yeah,
outstanding creative, artistic design and what have you. Same thing with
right,
Super
right.
Mario.
It's like
There's nothing new
Breath of the
about the.
Wild. Yeah, Breath of the Wild was that like artistic step, and now
Mhm.
we're in that. We just have additional stuff to it. So all right, next category. Best score and music for outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. Okay. So we have Alan Wake 2, we have Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. They also show all the composers. I like I said before, this would be the this would be the category that Hi-Fi Rush would win in terms
Maybe.
of
Yeah.
what it is, but I think it's gonna be Tears of the Kingdom. Like I just
Mm,
it's one of those things where at least the media that I listen to, a lot of people go back to how amazing that soundtrack is and like what it does with the music, with the soundtrack paired with the things you're doing in the game. And it's just like it's just it all works perfectly. Music doesn't really resonate. Okay. Video game music doesn't really resonate with me all that much just because of you know, the genre and all that stuff. So I don't really for me, if a game resonates with me, then I'm just like, "Oh, this is crazy." A game that resonated for me is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, and it's nowhere to be seen on here because that game is par at best.
damn.
So, I I think it's gonna be Tears of the Kingdom just because almost everybody in the industry has played it, and most of those people just love Zelda for whatever reason, and the music is also good. Yeah, so what did you, vote for this?
Alan Wake too, but I mean,
Mhm.
that's kind of a rough. I only played but one game on this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, two technically, but I didn't get far into Hi-Fi Rush.
Right.
So
I see, I see. Okay. Uh, the next category, best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Yeah, this is where Hi-Fi Rush wins. Like, yeah. What was your vote
I
here?
don't know, man.
Really?
Yeah. For audio design, I put Dead Space.
Oh, see, I didn't play Dead Space, so I don't even have any kind of awareness of that game, but I can definitely see that being a really
I
strong contender
I
here.
see a lot. I see in my head. I think a lot of the horror games are gonna win this. I don't see Hi-Fi Rush. Maybe, maybe. I'm not.
Yeah.
We're not the authority on this, but I would think when you got on your headset and you're playing, you know, and you got the surround sound going on, the horror games are gonna take this.
Yeah. No, you have a solid point there. Like that's something that I think in my mind I'm so like, okay, Hi-Fi Rush got to win something maybe, hopefully. And it's like, okay, well this can win, but then looking at the competitors, it's just like you got Resident Evil 4 remake, you got Alan Wake 2 which everyone is still talking about, and you also have Dead Space which was a awesome remake in its own when it came out. So it's just like and then you got Spider-Man 2 which does a great job as well. Uh, yeah, so it
Yeah.
is like kind of a hard one for Hi-Fi Rush to win. It's not an automatic win for them. So yeah, I could
The
definitely
fact that it's
see like
nominated is good though.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. The next category we have. Oh, this is not really a tough one, but it's a tough one. We have best performance awarded to an individual for voice over acting, motion, and or performance capture. We have Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16. Cameron, oh jeez, the guy that
Monaghan.
that Monaghan, there you go. That the Star Wars Jedi Survivor. We have Idris Elba from Cyberpunk 2077. We have hold on, scrolling.
Melanie Liburd or Liberd
Yeah,
Alley in Wake 2.
yes, and we have Neil Newbon from Baldur's Gate 3. I think he played uh Astron, I think. And then we have Yuri Lothan.
Lowenthal.
There you go. Always mess with my last name. He just played Peter Parker from Spider-Man 2.
Just
Um,
play.
I mean, you're not just, but yeah. Who do you think is gonna win here?
This is rough. I heard Idris Elba did his thing in Cyberpunk. Um, Ben Starr in Final Fantasy. I don't feel like he really blew me away. I don't know. It's
Okay.
kind of rough.
Yeah.
I will say I know Yuri Lowenthal probably has to do a lot of work because if they did what they did in Spider-Man 1,
Hmm.
he had to record his lines twice, all of them. Same thing with probably Miles Morales. Because if you remember,
Oh, because like you have to do it while like they're like out of breath or
swinging.
whatever.
So, yeah, so
Yeah.
he's under stress or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So I voted him.
Interesting.
If I was supposed to change my vote, it would probably be Idris Elba. But I mean, I only heard Ben Starr and Yuri Lowenthal. So
Yeah, okay, okay. Um, so I'm trying to figure out who Neil. Okay, yeah, Astrion. No, Asterion. That's how you pronounce that name. Okay, so yeah, he definitely played Asterion from Baldur's Gate 3. Um, this category is an interesting category for me because like I I'm surprised there is no more no other Baldur's Gate 3 people from
mm,
here other than Asterion because I feel like the voice actress that played Shadowheart is probably like one of the most phenomenal parts of Baldur's Gate 3.
yeah.
I think this is going to go to Ben Starr just because he has been doing a fantastic job of marketing himself. Like he
Mm,
like out of I listen to a bunch of podcasts and he's been on like 4 or 5 of them. And it's just like, oh, this guy again. Okay, cool. And it's like he's doing the work to get his name out there, which I think is cool. But I think that's also going to lead to him winning a category like this. I don't think it's going to
it's
be
still fresh
Star
on their
Wars.
minds.
Exactly. Yeah, and yeah, he's done a good job of keeping his name like relevant. I don't know about Alan Wake 2. I don't know how I think her name was Saga in the game. I don't know how well her
Mm,
character was. Um, you know, Peter Parker, Yuri did a good job with him. I feel like for me, I enjoyed more of Miles' storyline than Peter's storyline.
yeah.
So that has no bearing on the actual performance of Yuri's performance or anything like that. So I just feel like I kind of just default to Ben Starr just because I think he has been more relevant than everybody else. And Idris
Mm,
Elba, from what I've heard, everyone has been like, "Oh, well, I don't know what accent he's doing. I'm not sure if he's doing a British accent or an American accent." I'm just like, well, cyberpunk. Like, what does it matter? No one get their accents right in that game. Like, whatever. So
it's the
let's
future.
jump to the next thing. Oh, innovation in accessibility. So, recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. We have in this list Diablo 4.
After this one, check the notes. I check the
Okay,
chat, but yeah.
gotcha. We have Diablo 4, Forza Motorsports, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6. My vote is going to be Spider-Man 2.
I would
Pretty.
also vote that just because of how Sony's first parties or second parties, whatever you want to call them, have been
Mhm.
doing so many things as far as accessibility. You can change people to solid colors so you know who's the enemy, who's the ally, and
Mhm.
change the entire world to black and white and just do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. X to hold instead of tapping and QTEs. Just you could pretty much do the game with one hand if you need to, or one
Yeah.
foot. However you may be disabled.
Yeah. I agree. I just I and it's kind of hard to do this because I haven't played all of these games, so I don't know exactly what they're doing in each of the games. I haven't really heard too much about Diablo 4. I know Forza Motorsport usually do a good job with that stuff. Street Fighter 6, I do remember that because they have a really, really cool feature where you can actually play that game blind. And
Mm,
essentially every attack has a dedicated sound to it. So a
yeah.
person who is impaired can actually listen to the sounds and know how to adjust for whatever hits coming. And I think that's a super cool feature. I think it's really, really cool. But I feel like not only does Marvel Spider-Man has accessibility features in it, it also does a really, really cool thing with one of the characters Haley in the game. And I think something like
Mm.
that cannot be like understated. Like I think it's
Some
such a
people
cool
hate
thing.
that section.
Well, people, of course, people are gonna hate that section because people are just hateful people. So yeah,
Mm,
um, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna jump to we're gonna
action.
jump over and jump down to where is action? Yeah, we're gonna skip some of these because we don't really have too much to say about that. Or don't the best action
And
game.
for time constraints, we're not gonna keep you here all
That
day,
too.
folks.
Yeah. No, no, no. We want to keep you here all day, but we value your time.
Mm.
So we have best action game. Oh boy. You see what that first one is? Oh boy. We have first up Armor Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, Dead Island 2. Really? Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant of the Ash 2. So I don't really gotta say much. You know, my vote is gonna be Armor Core 6, guys. I think Armor Core didn't get Game of the Year. I'm not surprised for as much as I love that game. I'm not surprised it didn't get Game of the Year. This game this year was just really strong. I think Action Game is the place for this for Armor Core to win. It's going
Yeah.
against Dead Island 2, which didn't do great. It's going against Ghost Runner 2, which no one really talks about. You got Hi-Fi Rush, which is good competition, and we have Remnant 2, which is better competition because all I've heard from that is that that game is great. So
Remnant.
yeah, Remnant 2.
I'd say this is between. I voted Armor Core and I didn't even play it.
Mhm. You made a good choice.
But it's the thing I've heard most about it. Maybe I heard most about it from you, but I mean, I
Mm,
haven't read too much about any of these other games after their release. They didn't stay in the zeitgeist very
yeah.
much.
I will say, like, I am biased because this is Armor Core, and as you know, if you've listened to this podcast, that I have screamed Armor Core until my face has turned white. It
Mm.
didn't, but I tried. Um, but like from what I've heard from people who haven't played the game and then play the game, usually it's like, oh my god, this game is really, really, really good. Like it's better than I expected it to be, and it's like, oh, that's cool. Welcome to the club. We have cookies. So I definitely think this is going to be Armor Core's to win. I think Remnant, if it wins, will I be hurt? No,
Yes.
maybe, but I wouldn't be too surprised just because of how strong that game is as well. So, like, if any of the other ones win, I'd be very surprised and just like, what the hell? No, definitely not. So yeah, that's that. Let's jump to. Oh, I didn't even scroll on the thing. So yeah, yeah, these are the other games, but we already kind of just talked through all of them. Let's jump to the next thing. Best action adventure. We have Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. What's your vote here, Sean?
Mm, kind of rough. I mean, shit, I've only played, but I'd probably say Legend of Zelda. I didn't even play it, but I mean, I'm not going to
Yeah.
be biased and say Spider Man only because I played it. But I mean,
Hey, hey, if you feel that in your heart. Oh, I
I
didn't read the
mean,
things. Best action
I was
adventure
gonna say.
is
Oh
okay.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. Best action adventure is for the best action slash adventure game combining combat and traversal and puzzle solving. So go ahead.
I was gonna say, just thinking about all the things that people were able to do with the new
Here's the
I
kingdom.
forget the name of the damn thing. Yeah, just fusing everything together, enable puzzle solving, traversal, and combat.
Yeah.
That just screams Tears of the Kingdom. With all the
Yeah.
wild stuff I saw people being able to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is definitely Tears of the Kingdom to win. I think Spider-Man 2 is probably a strong second in that like puzzle solving. I think the puzzles in Spider-Man 2 were pretty cool. They were fun. They weren't super annoying or anything like that.
Yeah,
Traversal is amazing in that game, and combat is also very strong in that game in terms of the loadouts you can do, like just different combos and the 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 team up abilities and like the super moves that you can do in that game as well.
yeah.
But I do feel like what Tears of the Kingdom did with basically just taking all their items and say, hey, look, now you can fuse them. You can also build anything that your imagination can come up with in this game. I think putting all that stuff together, this is probably a sure win for that. All right. What is the next? What is the next thing? Best RPG. For the best game design with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. We have oh, Starfield's in here. Huh. We have I, I thought Starfield didn't get nominated for anything, but that's cool. We have Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and we have Starfield. Uh it's for me, it's Baldur's Gate 3. I
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think this is really a competition. When it comes to Final Fantasy 16, I think that game is a great action game. It's
Yeah, it
not
ain't no
really
damn RPG anymore.
RPG. Yeah. Same with Liza P. I didn't think we would consider Liza P an RPG. Are we considering Dark Soul games
But
RPG?
then again, are we thinking in the traditional Japanese Final Fantasy RPG sense where you're building skill trees and all that? So I mean,
That's
RPG
true.
has changed in
Morphed
the
and changed.
traditional
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I would still say it's between Baldur's Gate 3, Starfield, and believe it or not, Sea of Stars. Um,
I I honestly think it would be between Baldur's Gate 3 and Sea of Stars. I don't even think Starfield's in the conversation.
we'll
And
see.
it's unfortunate.
I don't know where to vote here. I'm gonna
Yeah.
just vote Sea of Stars just to be a a hole.
Hey man, hey. It's whatever you believe in your heart, you know what I mean? All right. The next thing is best fighting game. For the best game design primarily around head-to-head combat, we have God of Rock. I don't even know what this is. What? God of Anyways, Mortal
So
Kombat 1.
this God of Rock was a rhythm based fighting game.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, and it looked cool,
Oh,
but
yeah.
because I think it only released on PC on Steam, I don't think it would get the
Oh,
votes.
well,
It's
yeah.
nice that it's nominated, but
Hmm.
it's not gonna get the. Oh wait, no, it's on PS5. They
Is
didn't
it? There
advertise
was
it.
no
It's on
advertisement for
PS5,
that at
Switch,
all.
and Xbox. It's on all the
Yikes.
platforms.
Oh, wow.
It
Hey
got a
man, at
6
least
out
he
of
got
10 though.
nominated. It
Yeah,
got a what?
I got like a 6 out of 10 on
Oh,
Steam ratings. Meta,
okay.
it's middling reviews, so I don't think it's gonna
Yeah.
get. It's nice that it got nominated, but
Yeah. Okay.
but this is
So we have God of
basically
Rock.
if Guitar Hero was a fighting game head to head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So we have God of
but
Rock,
carry on.
Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawls 2, Pocket Bravery. I don't know what that is. And Street Fighter 6. Really, we could just talk about Mortal Kombat 1 versus Street Fighter 6 because those are going to be one of those two are going to win.
Yeah.
It's not going to be Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2, even though it came out and it did really, really well. It is a good game.
I think people were burned on All Stars 1, and they just
Absolutely.
like,
Me
I'm not
including.
playing this shit. So,
Absolutely. I think
and
good.
I was just gonna say, believe it or not, Pocket Bravery is not on any mobile store. It's only on the major consoles and PC.
That's interesting.
I mean, it's named Pocket Bravery. Why would you not make a mobile version? So I don't know.
Mobile version of it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, my vote here would be Street Fighter 6.
Hmm.
I think Mortal Kombat 1 looks amazing,
Yeah.
but in from what I've heard in the fighting realm, it's really not struggling, but it's having problems because some of the combos that characters can do are broken. They've had to ban characters from playing competitively already, and it's
Hmm.
just don't yeah, it feels like Street Fighter 6 was just a stronger game to come out this year.
Well, I
What
mean,
was your vote?
Street Fighter 6, Capcom put their foot in it. I vote Street Fighter 6. I mean, you have all the. I'm not gonna say it's full on accessibility, but they have the new modern
Mhm.
combat mode to
Yep.
or modern button scheme to allow newer
Yep.
players to get in there. You got your create a character. You have a full on pseudo open world story mode going on. They kind of just Mortal Kombat is more Mortal Kombat. They just rebooted the story and put those assist characters in there. I
They
say Street Fighter 6.
reboot-ish the story. That's another
Yeah, I
thing
say
too.
Street Fighter 6 has the whole what the hell you want to call it, spectator mode. You can watch people fight
Mhm.
and run up and challenge.
Mhm.
Nah, this is Street Fighter's year, and if something else won, I'd be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Street Fighter has done a lot in almost every avenue of a fighting game that like this has to
Mhm.
be the win for it. On top of that, like, hey, you know me, I'm a Tekken guy. Like, even Tekken has been inspired by Street Fighter 6, where like they are also gonna put like a quote unquote like modern control scheme in their game for their
Mm.
for Tekken 8 when it comes out next year. And it's just like, oh, like that's insane to see a game being inspired by another game and acting on that so quickly. So yeah, Street Fighter 6 for sure. Um the next game to talk about, we have I didn't click on the thing. There we go. Best family game. I don't know why I don't include game here. That's so weird. So, for the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform, we have Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Mario Wonder. No, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. What was your vote here, Sean?
Mario Wonder.
Yeah,
I've
mine too.
played I have Sonic Superstars. It's a fun game, but it moves too fast to be a family game.
Hmm.
This is gonna give younger siblings PTSD with how fast this game moves because whoever's in the lead leaves everybody in the dust, and you press a button to like pop back up on the screen.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know about the rest. Pikmin 4, I didn't. Is that multiplayer? I don't know. Party
No.
Animals, sure, but I mean, how long is that gonna last? I'd probably
Yeah,
say it's between Disney and Mario.
yeah, for sure. My vote is Mario Wonder. I think that's just the best game in this category. And it's Mario. It's 2D Mario, and that has always been like the family game of choice. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna skip a couple. Um, we're skipping best sim slash strategy because we don't really have a say here. Uh, best sports and racing don't have a say here. We're missing Jordan. Best
Mm.
multiplayer we'll talk about. For outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. We have Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals again, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder. What's your vote here, Sean?
I guess I didn't even play it, but I'll probably say Baldur's Gate 3 is between that Street Fighter and Mario Wonder. Diablo, I haven't heard anybody talking about the game since it released, and I don't think it had. Maybe it has couch co-op. I don't know.
Yes, it has couch co op. Yeah,
Okay, but still, Diablo 4 fell out of the news very quickly. It fell out of people's mind space very quickly, I think. Unless you just got hooked and addicted to it.
right. Yeah, my vote is Mario Wonder. My vote is
Mm.
Mario Wonder for the fact that it surprised everybody with this like kind of Dark Soulsy approach to multiplayer in terms
Yeah.
of you have the ghosts running around. And I think that astounded and surprised enough people where I think it's definitely going to take. Plus, a lot of people play Mario Wonder as well. Party Ammos, I mean, Street Fighter 6 is good, but it is kind of relegated to the fighting game community. Baldur's Gate 3, you can do multiplayer in that game, but most of the times when I'm seeing that game on the internet in any realm, it's
Yeah.
usually just single player stuff. It's people doing like kind of goofs and stuff, and it's not really like the multiplayer side isn't really leaned on. And then Diablo 4, I don't really see too much on. So yeah, my vote is Mario Wonder. Um, next, best
I
adaptation.
don't-
Recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. We have Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, The Last of Us, Super Mario Brothers movie, and Twisted Metal. How did Twisted Metal? Actually, no, I heard that wasn't
Twisted
actually that
Metal
bad.
was Twisted Metal was pretty good for
Hmm.
it did what it needed to do. And I'm
Okay.
excited for season 2. If
Okay.
you're into Twisted Metal, you'll enjoy this.
Yeah. We just need to get Paramount. We don't have Paramount. Um, my vote here.
I think it's on Peacock, but yeah, whatever.
Oh, Peacock, right? Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's Peacock.
Mhm.
Yeah, my vote here is Last of Us. I feel like Super Mario Brothers is amazing. I think if this was a vote with a majority of the people being just general public, it'd probably be the Super Mario Brothers movie just because a lot of people went to go see that. But I think The Last of Us, the HBO show, just did such an amazing job with the source material that I definitely think it's a guaranteed win. What was your vote?
Ah, man. It's crazy that I would dock Super Mario Brothers a point for just being nothing but references and just, hey, remember this thing,
Mm,
but then The Last of Us is just pretty much, one for
the
one
same thing, right? Yeah.
with the game, and uh, you know, I don't know, maybe because it's the subject matter, but I'd vote The Last of Us, and then maybe Twisted
Mhm.
Metal, and then maybe Super Mario. Um,
Okay.
Twisted Metal didn't need to be serious. It adapts the story in its own way pretty well, although it's very campy. It just
Yeah.
sucks that it's on Peacock, so nobody will see this show. But it is what
Mhm.
it needs to be. What is interesting is three of these things are PlayStation games.
You have a point. You have a really solid
So
point.
they're branching out in other ways that
Yeah.
will remain to be seen. The other thing is a Nintendo. Yeah, that's interesting. That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
The next category, most anticipated game. This is gonna be the last category we talk about. Recognizing an announced game that has demonstrated demonstratively
Demonstrably.
illustrated demonst yes, you're right. Demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming media forward. I said I was like, that's not right. All right. In this category, we have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8. Sean, where'd you go here?
Listen, what do you actually be silly questions for? This is a clear cut. What did you vote for?
So here's the thing, right?
Mhm.
This this category snuck up on me because my heart is pulled two directions because Like a Dragon is like a new love. Tekken 8 is like the old love. But then it's like Star Wars Outlaw looked really interesting. Final
Yeah,
Fantasy VII Rebirth, that's like you know what you're gonna get there. Well, actually, you don't know because there's gonna be quote unquote surprises
they're
happening with that
remixing shit.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then Hades 2, like Hades 1 was just such a strong thing. And it's just like, I honestly do not know where to go with this. Like,
listen,
I
sir. There's
feel
only one
like
clear answer. Come on over.
I e I mean, in terms of what I am anticipated for, I
Mhm.
think it would probably be like a Dragon Infinite Wealth as well, just because I know what I'm gonna get with Tekken 8. I'm gonna jump in that thing. I'm gonna play with it for like a week or so. I'm gonna go online. I'm gonna get crushed. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put this down and then go play a different game. So I know what's gonna happen there. Like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, it looks strong, but after playing Baldur's Gate, I'm just having to jump into a RPG that I know is gonna be, for lack of
Super
better words,
structured and linear.
yeah, I like that. That's been something that has been like kind of plaguing me for the past couple of weeks or so. So when that comes out, I'll just have to deal with that. But
Mm,
that's kind of where I'm sitting there. I think Hades 2, we don't know. Oh, actually, no, we have an idea of what it's going to be in terms of the
yeah,
daughter, I think, of Hades or something.
yeah.
That's going to be cool. I think Star Wars Outlaw is sort of the real unknown in terms of how massive, how crazy that game's going to be.
Mhm.
It's also Star Wars, and I think that has
Hey,
the
yeah, a lot of people
most,
are expecting that. Yeah,
yeah.
but
And
nah,
it
man.
like the first showing of it was a good showing of that game, so it doesn't really like the only issue with that game is it's coming out of Ubisoft, and we kind of know what
Mhm.
Ubisoft does with its games, and that's sort of the only issue with Outlaws. But dang,
Come
I
on
would
home.
go Infinite Wealth, but
Come on, bring it home.
I feel like the winner's gonna be Star Wars. I just because it's Star Wars, but I feel like
Yeah, and that's unfortunate.
yeah,
So I've been reading, comments and articles online. They feel like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is going to be this series Persona 5 or this series Final Fantasy 7,
ooh,
where it brings everybody in who hasn't been paying attention to the series, and
yeah,
they start going backwards and working their way backwards,
yeah.
with the franchise.
I mean, I can
Like
see
a
that
Dra-
happening.
like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is designed to be played for it. They say this is going to be the longest game they have ever made. Um, and they're
Wow,
trying to keep you playing for a while. Um,
wow.
not I don't think they're talking so much in terms of story, but all Like a Dragon slash Yakuza games have a ton of stuff to do as
Yes,
far as
yes,
mini games and side stories and the businesses you can run and all the things in there. So I'm
totally agree.
looking forward to getting this,
Definitely.
and I hope everybody else is too.
Oh, they are for sure. You know, they. I think you're absolutely right in terms of this can be positioned as like a Final Fantasy 7 moment or Persona 5 moment for that game
Mhm.
because when Like a Dragon came out, that was just like, wait,
It was kind of
uh,
big, yeah.
yeah, yeah, that was definitely a moment where it was like, oh, there's a lot of people like jumping into Yakuza for the first time and like really having a good time. And I think,
Well, them putting it on Game Pass and then
mhm,
PlayStation Plus brought a lot of people into it who missed it the first time around, including me.
yeah,
So it
yeah,
turned a
yeah,
lot of
for
people into
sure,
fanatics about the game.
right. And I think this follow up, as long as this game is strong, like
Mhm.
that's the best that they can possibly do. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Yeah, I just feel like Star Wars is gonna win this just because it's Star Wars and that has the biggest draw. So
Yeah.
yeah, but my heart's gonna be with Like a Dragon. All right. So that is the nominees for the 2023 Game Awards, or at least for the ones that we really care about. So
Mhm.
there's that.
Mhm.
Um, all right.
We
Do you
can
want to
do we can do what we've been
okay
playing
next
next
time?
episode. If anybody's made it this far, I'll give my impressions on Starfield, and we'll leave it at that.
Yes.
A
Trying to
markable
switch
teaser.
sides. All right. That has been it for Press X Start Gamers Digest. We hope you enjoyed this jam-packed episode as much as we enjoyed talking about games and making predictions. Don't forget, you can support us by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Do it. Don't forget, you can also, if you're listening, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or podcast services you're currently tuned in on. Don't forget to bundle up because it's really cold outside. We were outside last night and it was like, whew, it was cold
You
outside.
know
So
what?
make sure
I'll
you wear
I'll
a
talk
jacket.
about it in the after credits.
Oh snaps! Wait, there's after credits. Wait, what?
No,
We got
no,
something new
I'm just
happening here?
fooling around.
No.
I'm just kidding.
They're gonna be sitting there waiting. Wait, what happened? All right, guys, you take care, be safe, bundle up, and play video games, all that stuff. Peace.
Mm. Like, oh Lord, we got after credits.
Right? Wait.